This is a recipe to cook for someone you love, and my wife Jules loves this dish. The flavours are guaranteed satisfaction. It's going to be amazing. It's a celebration of fish.
Beautifully steamed sea bream, incredible shellfish, gorgeous greens, all infused with amazing Asian flavours.
And the great thing about this dish is it ticks every single box. It looks great, it's exciting, it's interactive, it's really, really healthy, it's super tasty. You feel really, really complete.
And it's so simple to make. It's all about giving the ingredients love, care and attention.
So I've got some beautiful bream here. Lovely, white, flaky fish, no bones, okay? Just pinch the fillet like that, so it's a little bit pert, and then just get your knife and gently score. About ½ centimetre down. It looks super flash. It allows heat and flavour in, so it's a win-win on every level.
Next, some gorgeous shellfish. A handful of fresh mussels, clams, king prawns and scallops.
Pull it off the shell like this. You've got the little skirt around here. It's really tasty. I'm not throwing it away. No way, Jose. So we'll keep that little skirt.
Then trim the scallops so you're just left with the roe and white meat.
I want to do a little preparation that's beautiful. I want to lightly go onto the scallop and I want to kind of do a little crisscross, like a checkerboard. But now what's going to happen is when that cooks, right, it's going to be a little flower opening up, okay? And again, flavour can come in, heat can get in, and it's just all very beautiful.
Peel and devein your prawns, but keep the heads on, that's where all the flavour is. And for colour and crunch, a selection of fresh Asian greens, sprouting broccoli and sugar snap peas.
And I like this dish just for 2 people, right? Don't do it for 4. Don't do it for 6. This is not a dinner party. This is for someone you love. That's it.
Now for the really important bit, the paste. This is going to infuse all of that seafood and veg with fresh, fragrant Asian flavours. First up, lemongrass.
Just give it a good old thwack. So citrusy and fresh.
Roughly chop it up, then go in with 1 sliced red chilli, a thumb-sized piece of ginger, 2 cloves of garlic, 3 lime leaves, and a handful of chopped coriander, and get pounding.
Ultimately, you want to bash everything up so they all share their individual flavours and become one. Look at that.
Finally, for a real Asian flavour hit, the juice of 2 limes, a tablespoon of soy sauce, a teaspoon of fish sauce, and a slug of oil.
One last little muddle. That is what you get. Absolutely gorgeous. Unbelievable. We got fish, shellfish, greens, and the flavour, right? We're on a win-win. We could throw all that in a dish and just bang it in the oven. Would it be good? Yeah, it'd be really good. But that's not good enough, right? We want to put more love in. We want to create a bag, like a pillow, a lovely, lovely pillow where no sort of juices or steam or flavour can escape.
So lay a wide sheet of good aluminium foil on a serving dish. Pop a smaller sheet of greaseproof paper on top, then start loading.
That, gorgeous. Let's kind of lay the fish fillet over here, and we'll start putting all our lovely greens in and around. We'll put the little scallop in there. Oh, this is so exciting.
Finally, smother it in all the aromatic Asian paste.
And that is beautiful. What I want to do now is then close this envelope. So I need another sheet. But I want to guarantee that it's going to be airtight.
So with a beaten egg, paint the edge of the foil, then squash the 2 pieces together and fold in every side. This is going to create a perfect little steaming ecosystem. All the juices and sauce circulating so everything gets infused with seriously intense flavour.
And then all we have to do now is whack it in the oven.
15 minutes and it's done.
Ah, yes. This is what we want. Get your knife in. Steam comes out. Be careful. Rip it open. And inside is an incredible, incredible meal. Let's do myself a little portion. Steam rice, then just go and get yourself a wodge of this gorgeousness. Look at that. Oh, everyone deserves to have this once in their life.
Flaky steamed fish, mouth-watering shellfish, gorgeous steamed greens, all wrapped up in fresh, fragrant Asian flavours. So simple, but so good.
That is a mighty dish, and they are going to love that in the cafe. I can guarantee you.
I'm going to show you how to make a weekend dish with much less fuss.
Now, you don't have to slave away all night in the kitchen to prepare a dish that's going to impress your friends or a loved one. I've got a great little recipe here that will do that job every single time.
Super simple bay salt prawns with a homemade sweet chilli dipping sauce that'll blow anyone away.
Now, when it comes to prawns, people worry about the shell. How do you take it off? It's really simple to do. Get your prawn, work your thumb down one side till that shell comes off. Leaving the tail on because it really makes it so much easier to eat. Now, the next thing you want to do is take the vein out. Just get a knife and run it down the back of the prawn. It's not a chefy thing to do, but it really improves the eating quality of the prawns. In no time at all, beautiful prawns, looking as pretty as a picture, and they're ready for skewers. Now, I've soaked the skewers in water so that they're not going to burn. Just going to insert the top of the skewer just above the shell line, and then just through the head, slide it down. I think we're going to have about 4 prawns per skewer. Now, look at these, super impressive, and they're not even cooked yet. I'm going to keep them in the fridge. Wash hands. It's time to get on with the sauce. I'm going to need sugar, quite a lot of chilies, but I'm making a large batch so I can keep it. And that's the great thing about this. You can then whip it out when you need it. So there are my chilies chopped. All these guys are going into the pot. And then garlic. I've got a great little hack. Cocktail shaker. In go the garlics. Good old shake. Right. Look at that. All the garlic cloves have now got the clothes off. And it's really, really handy when you've got a lot of them to do. I only need 4. Next up, the sweet chilli sauce needs the sweetness. Want about 250 grams of that. Cast the sugar here. Want the same amount of water to sugar. Just give that a little stir. Okay, let's get that on the heat. I want to balance out the sweetness with a little bit of cider vinegar. Then a nice pinch of salt. Why that chilli sauce bubbles away for 10 minutes or so, I've got time to make my bay salt, which is salt flavoured with bay leaves. So I need 10 of these leaves, and you want them fresh. And the salt, now the salt acts as an abrasive, so as you start to grind it up, that salt is going to help crush up the leaves. Look at the colour of this. It's like Martian salt. I'm going to use it to flavour my prawns, and it just adds another layer of flavour. Right, how is the sauce coming on? That has reduced down. So what I need to do now is I need to blitz this up. Now, you could leave the sauce a bit chunky, but I like it finer than that. Absolutely beautiful. It's time for the prawns now. Let's put the skillet on. While that's heating up, I'm going to get my prawn skewers, my bay salt. And this is going to act as fantastic seasoning. I think the colour's incredible. Look at it. I'm sprinkling wow factor on my prawns right now. A little drizzle of olive oil over the top. OK, on we go. Sizzle away. You see that colour change from that wonderful sort of marbly grey to this beautiful, rich red. Oh, they're going to be so delicious. Right, time to turn them. Look at that. See how quick it is? 2 minutes aside. Hardly any time, not a lot of effort, but seriously impressive. Can I get one of these beauties? That lovely bay salt. Look at the lovely colour, the green. A little dip. Oh, it's quite fiery. Lovely, lovely sweet. The prawn is so delicious. But you see, by keeping the tail on, perfect little handle. A really simple, quick dish. I don't think prawns have tasted so good.
Steak night, date night. It's really quick. It's really delicious. I want to share with you a brilliant technique to making the perfect sirloin steak, right? Tender, melt in your mouth, cut like butter, right? And then to elevate it, make it exciting,
I'm gonna make my version of a red chimichurri sauce, full of flavor, full of life. It takes your everyday steak to the next level. So look, I've got a pan here, non-stick, large, on a medium heat. Let's start with the steak. Beautiful sirloin of beef. It's nicely marbled, and we've got this lovely fat here. This is mainly grass-fed, which is fantastic. But what we have here, can you see? This is a really tough, thick sinew. That's like a leather belt, and people tend to keep that on because they want to cook it with the fat. And what I would suggest to do is pull this fat off, and this fat is really, really important. This is going to give you the flavour, and it's going to give you the fat you require to cook this. But what we don't want is this sinew, right? Because you might remember ordering a sirloin in a restaurant and you get that really tough bit that you kind of push to the side. It's a real pain. So what I love to do is slice this up into little chunks, and what we can do is make crispy bits and render it down. So instead of putting butter or oil in this pan, we're going to cook the steak in the steak fat. And then here, get the knife, and I'll just skim off that tough piece of sinew. And honestly, that's as tough as old boots, and you'd have to stew that for 4 hours to make that tender. So we'll get rid of that. So as the fat comes up, can you see how it's getting crispy? Then I'm going to put in here a couple of cloves of garlic. I'll leave the skin on, and that will flavour the fat as well. So that's really, really exciting. And then season that with lots of nice black pepper, and then some sea salt. Pat that in, and then just roll it around the board to pick it all up. So what I'm doing here is going for one thicker steak for 2 people. And by having a thicker steak, that means that we can get that lovely golden outside and still cook it medium rare. So often when you go to the supermarkets, one of the challenges is they cut the steaks very thin to make it a portion, and that makes it really hard to cook, you know, nice and juicy and blushing. I'm gonna wash my hands. You can see it starting to sizzle now. You can see it getting golden, all the crispy bits. Crispy bits are the best. As that's happening, I'm going to use spring onions and chilies to kind of cook and char in the steak juices to make the most amazing red chimichurri. Really delicious. So, 2 lovely chilies. Run your knife down the length of the chili like that. They're normally sort of medium hot, but by scraping away these seeds, you're cooling it down massively. Go in with those halves of chili, and then I've got a bunch of spring onions here, right? So I've just given them a wash and given them a trim, and they go in as well. So all of this happens in the same pan. Chimichurri from Argentina and Uruguay would typically be parsley, oregano, vinegar or lemon, olive oil, garlic, and you'd use it in basting meats or finishing, and by kind of scalding and charring these spring onions and chilies, I'm adding a different dimension to my version of a red chimichurri. Let's do the sauce part. Typically, with a chimichurri, you just chop it on a board. But I want to use a liquidizer. I'm going to take the chili, half of the spring onions go in there, and then the garlic. I'll just remove that skin. And you see how the garlic just comes out of the skin like that. I'm going to take a little half a bunch of parsley. Also, I'm using these jarred peppers. They're sweet, they're roasted, they're peeled, and the flavour from these are amazing. Half a jar, in that goes. Now, take those splits of spring onion and the crispy bits off. We'll put those to one side. In the pan now, we have lovely natural beef fat. So that is when our steak goes in. So we're going to cook the steak in steak fat. When you're pan frying a steak, do it a minute on each side until it's cooked to your liking. So whether it's well done, medium rare, whatever you like. So I'll do a turn now. For me, medium rare is what I'm after, about 3 minutes on each side. But Jules likes it a little bit more than me, so I can give her the ends or meet her halfway. After 20 years of marriage, you know what the answer is. Meet them halfway. And what I love about this recipe, it's got a really nice flow. So as that's happening, over here, put a nice little lug of extra virgin olive oil in there as well. And then red wine vinegar, pinch of salt and pepper. And that, whizzed up, is going to be amazing. Right, the sauce is done. Let's keep turning the steak around. I reckon that's gonna be about medium rare. I'm gonna place that on top of the spring onions to rest. It's always nice to rest your steak. And a little bit of that steak fat we can just put on top like that, just to keep it nice and moist. So look, back to this sauce. And I've made more than I need for this meal for sure. But if you want to bag it up and freeze it, you can use this for so many different things. It's amazing as a dip. Let me just try a bit. Wow. You've got heat, but very gentle, really gentle. The parsley's there, it's fresh. You've got the fragrant garlic, and those sweet peppers is so, so good. I've got a nice big platter. I'm gonna take some of this sauce straight on there like that. It's an amazing consistency. 3 or 4 nice big spoons. The steak here, I want to just slice it beautifully. About 1/2 centimetre thick. Oh, Jules is going to like this. Nice and blushing. That is exactly how my Jules likes it. Look at that, beautiful. Super juicy and really, really tender. Lovely spring onions. And then the crispy bits. Now, to go with that, I've put in the oven a beautiful sweet potato. Take the skin off. I'm just gonna smash it up. You can do normal potatoes, of course, but that doesn't count as one of your 5 fruit and veg a day. This is actually a vegetable, it's delicious. I think the sweetness of this goes really, really well with the chimichurri sauce. And if you wanna kind of get some of that parsley that you had earlier, you can just chop that through and you just make it a little bit fresher. A little season of salt and pepper. And I think this just makes a really nice thing to have with the steak. So smashed sweet potato in here. Right, little taste before I serve it to my lovely, lovely girl. Look, we got the steak here. And that, with the sauce, and let's get a crispy bit. Come on, crispy bit, come over here. It's gonna be a thing of joy. It is so tender. Cooking the steak in its own fat makes it really, really delicious. If you love steak, try that technique. And that expression of the red chimichurri is so good with the steak. Sweet, fragrant. The chili's really gentle. That sauce takes your everyday steak to the next level. Oh yes, we are gonna do the most amazing beef Wellington. For 2, blushing, beautiful beef steak, surrounded by gorgeous outer mushroom filling, crisp golden pastry. Welcome to the world of beef Wellington. A lot of people get freaked out about doing beef Wellington for 10 or 12. It's a big thing, it's very expensive, but if you break it down for 2, you can manage it. And it all starts with a beautiful chunk of grass-fed beef fillet. 250 grams. This whole procedure is about celebrating that. So what's the most appropriate herb for beef fillet? Rosemary, an absolute classic. Just run your knife through the rosemary, season it up, then get your fillet steak and just roll it and fold it. That is nicely coated. We're gonna go into a hot pan with a little olive oil, a good knob of butter, a couple of cloves of garlic, and as soon as that starts sizzling up, we go in with the steak. Oh yeah, keep basting it. Just a minute and a half of searing. That'll be completely rare on the inside, so let that cool. And then all this fat has done its job, so we'll get rid of that. We're gonna make a mushroom duxelle, which is basically a mushroom pate. This, wrapped around the beef, is a thing of absolute beauty. So I'm gonna roughly chop a nice red onion. And then straight back in the pan with a fresh little drizzle of olive oil, a small knob of butter, absolutely lovely. So let's talk mushrooms, guys. The great thing about this dish is you could use the cheapest mushrooms or the most expensive, and this is still absolutely sublime. So look, I need 250 grams, which is about that much. Then with the onions, I'll put the smaller ones in whole. Button mushrooms, I can just crush in my hand. Look at that. Season with salt and pepper. Don't forget, we've got the garlic. If you just squeeze it out of the skin, we can put that straight back in here. Now, if you want to pimp it even more, then dried mushrooms are key. These are porcini. You need a tiny amount, literally 3 will make all the difference. Put these in a little glass. Just put some hot water over the top, and the flavour extracted is like a massive fungi stock cube. And just go in with these soaked mushrooms, I'll keep back a little bit of that water for my sauce later. We can also put in any resting juices from our steak. And at this stage, we're gonna wazz it up. Now, you can do this by hand, but I find food processors get that nice pate-like consistency. Lid goes on, and we'll have a little whiz up. Right, the duxelle is done. Next, I'll show you how to make pancakes. An absolute classic part of this dish to soak up any excess juice out of the beef fillet. So in here, we go with the 1 cup method. So grab yourself any cup. We're gonna do 1 milk, that goes in. We're then gonna go with 1 cup of self-raising flour. Lovely free-range egg goes in, 100 grams of spinach. So I want to add colour and flavour. So lid on top and a nice little wazz. And in no time at all, you get this crazy green pancake batter that is so good. Add a little olive oil to a pan and simply go in with that batter, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Once it's dried up on the top, you can simply just turn it over, give it 10 seconds on the other side. So there we have one lovely, vivid green pancake. So let's bring this together now. We've got the beautiful steak, the mushrooms, this amazing pancake. I'm gonna use this lovely little technique, which is gonna help you build this incredible feat of gastronomy. So I'm gonna add my pancake. I want the heat and the aggression of beautiful English mustard. Go in there with like a teaspoon and a half, boom. So you'll get that color and that heat, and then we'll take the mushroom. So we want just under 1 centimetre of this incredible mushroom paste. Just spend a little bit of time evenly moving this around. And then once you've done that, we're gonna grab our lovely steak, place that in there like that, and then we're gonna take one corner and another and bring it up. And then if you just twist it, the action of doing that, squeezing out the air, just gives you this perfect little kind of sphere. And that, my friends, is gonna sit inside your pastry, and it's gonna be phenomenal. Right, next we want the pastry. So I'm using lovely all butter puff pastry. So I can take this, place it on here, I can use my knife and sort of just trim it up like that. So we can take that off, and then I can place it on the pastry. And then I want some egg wash. Just go around the edge like that. So think of it like edible glue. We're gonna lay this over the top and just rotate it. It's just almost like tucking it into bed, right? What I wanna do is just kind of trim around the edge. So now, egg wash this. That is more than perfect enough to whack in the oven, but oh no, 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 no. I wanna do this for someone very special. So I'm gonna go the extra mile. Roll out a chunk of pastry. I only need half. I wanna show you a little technique that's kind of fun. So get a little knife and do little inch slices with a little centimetre gap. When it comes to the second line, we're gonna go an inch slice, but we're gonna go within the gap, like that. Now, they call this a lattice. This is an optional extra I absolutely love. Take your pastry and give it a little shake, and something beautiful will happen. I'm just gonna trim off the excess. Use your thumb and forefinger and push down that edge and have a pinch. Who would have thought a few scores and a few pinches could be so effective? We're gonna cook it in a preheated oven at 220 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes exactly at the bottom of the oven, so you get a crispy bun. Plenty of time to knock up a delicious onion and thyme gravy, finished off with a cheeky glass of port and that leftover porcini liquid. Simmer away until thick and shiny, and you'll have the perfect partner for your beef Wellington. Ho, 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 ho. Look at that. Gorgeous. It is a thing of utter beauty. Get a sharp knife, commit to the middle, carve down all the way to the bottom, and then the moment of truth. Oh, yes! Come on, man, look at that. Let me introduce you to your new best friend. Beef Wellington for 2. Gorgeous. And just add that sauce so it surrounds that Wellington. Happy days. Right, I'm gonna go straight for the middle. Oh, it's so crispy. Right down to the bottom. Right, let's do it. Oh, wow. The beef fillet is so tender. That incredible mushroom duxelle. The pastry's crisp. It's really special.
And every now and again, you deserve something special with someone you love. It's Friday, it's steak night, and I want to show you the best steak ever. This is the ultimate T-bone steak, sirloin, fillet, beautiful beef dripping potatoes, and the best condiment ever, Salsa Verde. Let's do this. First up, I've used some fantastic red skin potatoes. I've cut them into like inch chunks, skin on, right? And then I've whacked them in water with 2 beautiful bulbs of garlic. Now, by parboiling them for about 5 or 6 minutes, you soften the potatoes, but most importantly, you convert that garlic to being creamy on the inside. And when it goes in the pan with the beautiful beef juices, it's gonna be caramelized and gorgeous. So spuds and garlic are on. Back to the steak. What you want to say to your butcher is, can I have a lovely T-bone steak? I want it at least 2 to 2.5 inches thick, 1 big chunk. You get different cuts. You get the sirloin, you get the fillet. This is going to be an epic thing. Get your steak out of the fridge an hour before you cook it. Very important. Now, we can see there's different thicknesses of fat here. Even it out, slice up this fat, put it in a pan. It's going to give you more flavour because you're cooking steak in steak fat, but also this is going to go on your potatoes. So it's like a double whammy. I'm going to season it generously with black pepper to not just flavour it, but help create a bark, a really dark, gnarly outer skin, leaving you with a juicy, gorgeous, sumptuous inside. Sweep the crispy bits to the side, and then place this steak fat side down. The girth or thickness of the steak is holding itself up. Now, drain the potatoes. One of the benefits of being on the end of a pier, we don't need a sink. Give them a good old shake. So what I'll do is get a bigger pan on, a little bit of olive oil, then go in with our potatoes. What I want to do is season it, and then in with the crispy bits. They got a lot of love to give still. If you have a look in this pan, we can steal a little bit of this beef fat. And this is going to make the best crispy potatoes ever. So back on the heat to get golden and crisp all over. That might take 30 minutes, depending on how big your pan is. So look, back to this steak now. Let's have a little look. Sizzling, dancing fat, gorgeous. So now, onto the bone side. You're going to get that heat going through the middle of the fillet and the sirloin. Also, bone marrow will find its way out, and it will end up kind of getting rubbed on the outside of the steaks, and it's going to be delicious. See that fat? We'll put this meat straight into it. We're going to use this rosemary brush, dab it in that fat, and I can smell already the story is changing. Cook this steak 1 minute each side, and you want to keep as much juice inside that steak as possible. So 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, kissing it with rosemary again. This steak now has had about 4 minutes on each side. I'm going to cook it medium to rare. So that will come off the heat now, and we're going to let that rest, okay? Give it one last kiss of oil to protect the meat. It can dry out if you don't give it a little oil. Just look at these amazing potatoes. I want to add some lovely thyme. If you put the thyme in for the last 10 minutes, you get the most delicious flavour. It's so, so good. So we'll put that back on the heat. That's just now on a low heat, just ticking away. So amazing potatoes, amazing steak. The perfect thing to go with it is the classic Salsa Verde. It's normally with parsley. I love it with mint also. Grab it at the top and just rip it off. So then we want to add some other fragrant bits and pieces. Gherkins, 2 or 3. Then anchovy, the thing that so divides people. You will not taste the anchovy, but it will give an incredible depth of flavour. Garlic, just a little half clove of garlic, a heaped teaspoon of capers. Now what we do is start to slice up.
Once finely chopped, add a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a glug of extra virgin olive oil, and a splash of good vinegar.
This is like the Italians' equivalent of horseradish sauce, mint sauce. Beautiful. And now, time to serve. You can see how the juices have rested out. We love all that. So this is when your friends and family are around. You do not want them to miss out on this bit. Use your carving knife to follow the bone and take off the fillet. Then we've got the other side of the bone. And off it comes. Take the fillet and I can just slice it at an angle You can go a little bit thicker now on the sirloin. Lay it out with pride. Take the juices and I will pour that all over the steaks. The salsa verde. Look at that. Crispy potatoes. Oh my Lord. That's what it's about. Outrageous. Come on, enough talking, let's just do it. Get yourself one of those gorgeous potatoes. A little bit of steak, nick a bit of the garlic. That beef, melt in your mouth. Every mouthful, you've got flavour, 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 flavour. And that salsa verde is an absolute game changer. The tang of the vinegar and the cornichon, the capers, the garlic. Wow. There you go, lovely people. I know you love your steak and chips nights, but why not take a little bit of inspiration from our Italian brothers and sisters? Cheers.